If I was to ask you to list the top 10 risky foods that could ultimately lead to a negative effect on your health, I'd imagine that there are a few obvious choices that you could leap to, but let's see if we can find anything here, especially from the experts. So avoid these foods right now. The 10 really risky items causing illness, according to Consumer Reports. Okay, so what do the people and the experts have to say about this? Well, food poisoning can have many sources. Certain foods can make mealtime seem like playing the intestinal roulette. It's funny, we were talking about constipation yesterday, and today we're talking about, well, the opposite of that. A new survey by Consumer Reports has named the 10 riskiest foods in the United States based on their recalls and track records of making people sick. Funny, the last time it was in the States was the last time that I had food poisoning, so maybe that's correlation right there. Maybe it's just the United States in general that's making people ill. Oh my God. Consumer Reports specifically examined the number of foodborne illnesses and deaths in 2024, a spread of outbreaks and food recalls. Okay, the data was sourced from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the FDA, and the Department of Agriculture. Stomach churning report comes following a 41% increase in food recalls due to possible contamination with Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria in 2024, compared to the year before, Consumer Reports reported. Meanwhile, confirmed cases of foodborne illnesses soared by 20%, while associated hospitalizations and deaths more than doubled from the same time last year. And well, we got the first item that is pulled up right here. That would, of course, be deli meats. And that ends up making a lot of sense because some of those could be undercooked and the storage practices are iffy, to say the least. On top of the food poisoning pyramid was deli meat, which resulted in 165 illnesses and 87 hospitalizations due to Listeria. This innocuous-seeming sandwich staple makes consistent appearances on CR lists due to its frequent handling and the fact that Listeria bacteria are frequently found at the processing plants and on deli counters. The cause this year was boar's head outbreak over the summer. Did we talk about that last year? I think it made an appearance, but it's been a while. Between May and mid-September of 2024, 10 people died and 61 people were sickened across 19 states after eating Listeria-tainted boar's head products, including liverwurst, during the largest outbreak of the foodborne illness in 2024. So yes, pay attention, make sure that you're at a clean deli or reputable deli and not just that corner stop or, just having a gas station cold cuts. Cucumbers, really? Okay, now cucumber can put one's stomach in quite a pickle. I get it because pickles, but pickles aren't actually going to make you sick because they're just generally antifungal because of the pickling process. Anyways, 664 reported illnesses, 173 reported hospitalizations in 2024. No deaths were reported, but that's a staggering number of illnesses. Okay, all linked to Salmonella. Okay, the outbreaks were linked to both whole cucumbers and at supermarkets and sliced veggies used in prepared salads sold in major U.S. grocery stores. And the CR recommends that people choose fruits and vegetables that are free of bruises or damaged skins because bacteria can more easily enter through those areas. That totally makes sense. Raw milk and raw cheese. Now, here's the thing, man. I advocate for that because of the pasteurization process, essentially eliminating a bunch of the positive nutrients from dairy rather. But you got to get it also from a very reputable source, not from iffy shipping practices throughout the United States. Raw milk and raw cheese made the food poisoning pantheon with over 182 illnesses, 29 hospitalizations due to E. coli and Salmonella collectively. The culprits were unpasteurized milk products from raw farms, which resulted in outbreak due to Salmonella in milk and cream, and another caused by E. coli in a raw cheddar cheese. CR advises people to refrain from eating raw cheese and also to age raw cheese for 60 days before selling to destroy harmful bacteria, in line with FDA guidelines. Although the last year's outbreak proves these precautionary measures aren't foolproof. Well, yeah, if you have a contaminated facility, it really wouldn't much matter. Cojita and queso fresco cheese. Oh, that's the gross stuff. That's okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, just stay away from that. It's like super processed anyways. Soft cheeses are another breeding ground for Listeria due to their high water content and low acidity. Last year, there were 26 reported illnesses and 23 reported hospitalizations. Yeah, just stop with that. Eggs. Okay. Salmonella and bird embryos were responsible for 93 illnesses and 34 hospitalizations. So yeah, if you're going to be chugging raw eggs, make sure that you're getting them from a clean spot. Onions. Okay, I'm really shocked by a bunch of these. Last year, there were 104 related illnesses and one reported death due to E. coli in onions. All of the victims had reportedly eaten a McDonald's Quarter Pounder. Well, if it wasn't for the onions, I'm sure Rotten Ronnie's was going to go ahead and take you out anyways. CR noted that people can minimize their chances of getting poisoned at home by buying whole, unbruised produce and slicing them up themselves. There you go. Leafy greens. Okay, probably for the same reasons. Leafy greens might seem synonymous with Popeye-like strength and nutrition, but they can also be breeding grounds for E. coli. Yes, that's spinach for you in a nutshell. Last year, there were 117 reported illnesses, 36 reported hospitalizations, and one death due to E. coli found in leafy roughage. CR says people can mitigate the risk for illness while dining out by avoiding salads or raw greens on sandwiches. Okay, interesting. Raw carrots. All right, probably for similar reasons, responsible for 48 illnesses, 20 hospitalizations, and one death due to E. coli poisoning. Carrot producer Grimway Farms issued a recall on organic bagged whole and baby carrots purveyed under multiple names after they were linked to contaminants in 19 states. Organic basil. Really? Okay, now we're getting into spices. Also susceptible contamination from the soil. Organic basil was linked to 36 illnesses, 4 hospitalizations related to salmonella last year. Cook it. Yes, cook it, wash it, clean it thoroughly before ingesting it. Cooked poultry and meat. Even the cooked stuff. Okay. Finally, listeria was found in cooked poultry and meat products last year, which thankfully resulted in 0 reported illnesses, hospitalizations, and deaths. So it could be in there. And because having a top 9 doesn't quite have the same ring as a top 10, we need to go ahead and throw that in there as well. Rogers said that that the ranking is not meant to dissuade people from eating these foods entirely, but rather maintain a watchful eye, which is exactly the reason why I wanted to go ahead and bring you guys these lists, because they're very, very, very common foods that are out there and very, very popular, and some stuff that, hell, even I would recommend. But making sure that you're making informed and correct decisions with what you buy and how you use it, I think that that's more important than anything else. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.